The Toyota RAV4 is the best-selling compact crossover SUV in the US and also on a global scale. This model is popular for many reasons. It is practical, efficient, and most importantly, affordable. However, there are some owners who end up disappointed in the early stages of their ownership, and they decide to sell it. So if you want to find out the reasons behind this decision, stay with us while we cover the 8 reasons why drivers decide to sell the Toyota RAV4 after only 5,000 miles. Number 8. Poor acceleration. One of the main reasons why people opt to sell their Toyota RAV4 is the poor acceleration that this model delivers. The model can be described as dull and boring to drive overall. If you want to hit 0 to 60, it'll take you up to 8.4 seconds overall. This is very poor acceleration compared to the competition. Competitor models, for example the Honda CR-V, deliver much faster acceleration times. The CR-V accelerates from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. The Subaru Forester is even faster, achieving 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds, almost 2.2 seconds faster than the Toyota RAV4. There are even faster SUVs in this class, but these two are the main competitors of the RAV4, and both models are quite faster than the RAV4. Having good acceleration time not only delivers a better driving experience, but also improves safety. Just imagine how you drive behind a large truck and you need to overtake it. With the RAV4, you could end up in a problematic situation because you need so much time to overtake this large vehicle. This is why owners decided to sell the RAV4. They're unhappy with its acceleration and want to drive something faster and safer overall. If speed is a thing that matters to you, you should definitely consider competitor models. Or take the RAV4 for a test drive. Many dealers offer this option, where you can drive this model and experience it firsthand. This way, you will not regret selling it later on. Number 7. Poor transmission performance. Now, let's cover the next reason why owners decided to sell the Toyota RAV4 with only 5,000 miles, and that is the transmission problem. So what is the problem with the transmission? Well, many owners have reported poor performance from the 8-speed automatic. This is an 8-speed direct shift automatic that performs pretty poorly compared to the ECVT in the hybrid version. This transmission, developed by Aisin, is reportedly pretty rough when it comes to shifting gears. It can feel jerky, especially at low speeds. This can impact the smoothness of the ride. Consequently, it can make the driving experience feel less refined compared to other vehicles in the same class. This is why we advise that you choose the hybrid with a CVT automatic. This model is much smoother because the CVT has only one gear and an infinite number of gear ratios. So this means that you don't have constant gear changes, but a smooth and enjoyable acceleration. However, you can test drive the 8-speed model and see if this model fits your needs. Many buyers do not even notice this jerkiness unless it is too obvious. Number 6. Limited cargo capacity. Another big problem with the Toyota RAV4 is the cargo capacity, which is somewhat limited compared to competitor models. Just for reference, the Toyota RAV4 has a max cargo capacity of 69.8 cubic feet, while competitor models like the Subaru Forester get up to 74 cubic feet of space, and the Honda CR-V gets up to 76.5 cubic feet of space. These two rivals are quite roomier than the Toyota RAV4 and can store more items. So if cargo space is your top priority, the RAV4 is not one of the best models in this segment. Besides this, there are a lot of buyers who purchase the Toyota RAV4 thinking that this model will suit their needs. However, during the first months of ownership, they understand that they need a larger vehicle and decide to sell the RAV4. In order to not make this mistake, you need to take into consideration all of these factors. You need to calculate your needs. For example, if you have more than 3 kids, you definitely need a larger vehicle than the Toyota RAV4. A model like the Toyota Highlander with 3 rows of seating will suit you a lot better. Also, if you have a large dog breed that you take in your vehicle often, or you often load your SUV with tons of groceries, you need a larger SUV. An SUV like the RAV4 will not do the trick for this purpose. This is why you should take all of these aspects into consideration and make sure that you make the right choice. This is how you'll be able to get the most out of your budget and not regret and sell the Toyota RAV4 later on. Number 5. Noisy engine. Another big reason why owners decide to sell the model after only 5,000 miles is because of its noisy engine. The 2.5-liter engine is not one of the quietest engines that you can purchase. This engine produces a ton of decibels that can be pretty annoying to listen to on a daily basis. All of the models use this 2.5-liter engine, and there's no method that you can use to escape from the sounds. What makes this worse is the fact that the RAV4 uses poor insulation inside of the cabin, so noises can easily enter the cabin. This is why, if you're serious about buying the RAV4, make sure that you test drive the model. This is how you'll be able to pick the problems before you purchase it. If you consider the model to be too loud, you can simply avoid it and purchase something else. A good alternative is the Subaru Forester. The Forester uses a boxer engine that sits flat, and this engine is a lot smoother in its operation and overall far quieter than the one found in the Toyota RAV4. Number 4. Cheap interior. The Toyota RAV4 is a model that has not been highly regarded for its interior. This model has plenty to offer, but still not in the interior department. Its interior is very utilitarian and simple. This turns off a lot of the potential buyers. Remember that the American buyer wants comfort and features. Unfortunately, the RAV4 is not the model for this purpose. The interior is filled with cheap, scratchy plastic, and the seats are covered in cloth. This doesn't scream luxury. In addition to this, the panels might rattle a little bit and produce strange noises. Many new owners understand this too late, and they decide to sell their model with only 5,000 miles. When you purchase a Toyota RAV4, you need to be prepared for these compromises. This is not the most luxurious model out there. If you really want a luxury RAV4, you should opt for the Lexus UX. The UX is basically a RAV4 in a luxury package. This model implements plenty of features, such as leather seating, ventilated seats, dual-zone climate control, an advanced infotainment system, soft-touch materials everywhere, and a lot more. But this luxury will cost you a good penny, so you need to be prepared to spend a bit more if you want to have the best and don't deal with compromises. Number 3. Ton of wind noise. Noise is a common problem with the Toyota RAV4. This model is noisy, as we noted before. Specifically, the engine produces noise that ruins your mood, but there's also plenty of wind noise inside of the cabin. This is a common occurrence whenever you drive on the highway. Outside noise easily penetrates the cabin and gets in your ears. This is the case because the RAV4 is not particularly aerodynamic, and also the insulation is quite poor in this model. The RAV4 is designed to be a cheap utilitarian vehicle. This is why this is a common occurrence with this model. This noise can be excessive, especially if you drive a lot on the highway. The higher the speed, the more noise you will experience. So if you drive too much on the highway at speeds of 75 miles, this is not the model you're looking for if you want a quiet ride. Number 2. Infotainment glitches. Another big problem with the Toyota RAV4 that owners complained a lot about is the problem with the infotainment. The infotainment used in this model is not one of the best. The hardware that this system uses is very poor because, remember, this has to be a cheap and affordable vehicle, so it has to be cheaply made. Cheap hardware results in plenty of lag and glitches. This is why we don't recommend the Toyota RAV4 to those who want to have a good experience. This system is not the best. A perk is the fact that you can use Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This alleviates most of these problems with the native software. Number 1. Advanced trims are too expensive. Another downside with the Toyota RAV4 is the fact that this model has advanced trims that are too expensive. The base starts at $28,850, which is a fairly good price. But the more advanced trim level, the XLE Premium, starts at $33,250, while the Limited starts at a whopping $37,155. Overall, these models are not worth the extremely high price tag. You can spend less and get a better equipped model from a different manufacturer. So many buyers, unsatisfied with what they get, decide to sell their vehicle in the early stages of ownership.